Hello, so here's the problem 4, and in this problem we are given a binary tree with the target value, and we have to design an algorithm to print all elements within particular path of this given binary tree, where the elements in the path, the sum of elements in the path is equal to the target value. So how are we gonna do this? So let's assume that we have this binary tree, and we'll just declare a list, just normal list, and we'll just starting from the root node of a tree, we'll just keep adding the elements data from these nodes to our lists, and we will call our function recursively. So first of all, going to the left child's always, then we will just go to the right child's, and each time when we go to the bottom, to the next left child or either right child, we'll just keep adding the numbers from the tree to the list. Once we'll reach the bottom of tree, we'll just declare another temporary variable where we'll just add up elements from the list and check if it's equal to target. So how we're gonna do this? So first, starting from the first node, we'll just add it to the list. Then we will go to the next element, which is 3. Then we'll add next element, which is 2, to the list. Once we reach the bottom of the tree, from that point we'll just, in our temporary variable, we'll just adding elements from the last element of a list. Also we'll use an I variable for pointer, and it also will start from the last element in the list. Then we will move to the left within this list. So then we'll move next element, which is 3, to the existing one, and it will make our temporary variable 5, and each step will also check with the target value, and at this point we will see that target and temporary variable are equal to each other, and it will mean that actually we find a path where the sum of elements is equal to target value. At this point we'll just pass this list. Actually we will use another helper function, which will be just printing elements of that particular found path, and we'll just also pass the pointing starting from which index we shall print the numbers within this list. So at this point we'll just print 3 and 2, and after that we'll just remove last element in the list, and in the binary tree we then go to the right child and add up elements within this subtree. So right now the remaining elements just 1 and 3, and we'll just add up also 1 and 2 to our list. Our temporary variable will be 0 again, and from that point we will start our pointer from the last element of a list and go to the left. And once our temporary variable will be 5 again at the index number 1, we'll just print elements from the list to the right. It will be printing right in that way, and again we then remove last element, and then again check if the remaining elements, sum of the remaining elements is equal to the target value or not. If it is, we'll just keep printing. And how it's gonna look like in our code. So first of all, let me just declare a globally accessible list which will be accessible by both functions, and I'm declaring it globally just because since in my main function I will be calling my function recursively, I will need to keep adding all elements into this list. Then let me just first define function which will be just printing elements within the particular path which are equal to the target value. So I call it print list, and the passing values will be the list itself. Let's call it input list, and some pointer like int I. Here I will use for loop with j, which will be equal to I, and j will be incrementing until it will reach the end of lists. Sorry, j. And here I will use just console write function where I will be printing elements from the list at particular index, plus I will put some white space between elements from that list, and then I also write down this console write line just to go to the next line in the console. And our main function, it also will be void because it's not going to return anything. I called find path, and the arguments will be the root of a binary tree and the target value. So at the beginning I will just make a check if our root is not equal to null. If it's equal to null, I will just return just to get out of this function, and after that I will just start adding the data from the nodes of a tree to my list. So list at root data. After that I will go just recursively to the left child. Sorry. I will call again this function itself, and the passing arguments will be, first it will be left child, and then it will be right child. Then I will declare a temporary variable, and then I will just initialize for loop j equal to, or not 0, but it will be the last element of a list, because we'll be moving from the last element to the left in the list, so it will be list count -1, and until it will reach it will be not equal to negative, they will be decrementing. Then I will just add values to my temporary variable from the list. Then if at some point my temporary will be equal to target, I will call for my printing function, where I will be passing the list itself and the index where I stopped, where I've found the equation between temporary variable and target variable, so it will be j. And after my for loop, I will just, after completing my for loop, after my for loop will be completed, I will just remove last element in the list. So that's it. So you see here I always add the first element to my list, then I go to the left child and I keep going to the left child, then I check if when I reach the left child, I check just within this for loop if the sum within this list are equal to the target value, and if they are, I'm just calling for a print list function where I'm just printing all the elements which which sum is equal to the target value. Then I remove the last element, go up and call for the right child. Then I do it again. So that's it.